The husband secretly got up in the middle of the night to meet his sister-in-law. Their son not only didn't stop him, but even offered to keep watch for him. They thought they were being sneaky, and no one would find out. Little did they know, it was this foolish decision by father and son that would make them regret it for the rest of their lives. Watching the backs of her husband and son as they left, the woman felt a deep chill in her heart. This was the husband she had risked her life to save with medicine, and the son she had desperately given birth to. Yet they repeatedly deceived her for an outsider. The woman was originally born into a family of generals. Since childhood, she had followed her father, brother, and mother into battle. Her whole family had died in battle defending against foreign invaders. She was the sole survivor of the entire general's household. To preserve this only remaining descendant, her mother, before dying, made her promise to lay down her spear and marry a good man, bear children, and live a peaceful life. And so, under her mother's dying wish, she found a good man, married him, and bore a son. 7 years later, her husband's younger brother died in battle. Her mother-in-law asked her husband to take in the sister-in-law and have a child with her. The woman immediately refused such a ridiculous idea, but the usually gentle mother-in-law suddenly changed her tone and accused the woman of being jealous and lacking propriety. If she was unwilling, she would be divorced on the spot. The woman, shocked, said, "Since I married into the Duke's manor, I've treated you like my own mother, and now just because I won't share my husband with another woman, you want to throw me out?" The mother-in-law, unable to refute, simply told her that her son and the sister-in-law had secretly loved each other since childhood. Now that her younger son had died, she should fulfill their love. Hearing this, the woman felt like she had been struck by lightning. Her husband of 7 years was in love with another woman. Unwilling to believe it, the woman ran out of the courtyard intending to ask her husband for the truth, but just as she stepped out, she ran into her husband returning from court. Upon seeing his wife, the man immediately pulled out a pair of little dolls, saying he had bought them on the street. They would put them in their bedroom, and he hoped they would be a loving couple for life. Then the woman asked him if he knew that his mother wanted him to marry his sister-in-law. Unexpectedly, the man shamelessly replied, "It's just about having a child with her. It won't affect our relationship." Hearing such a scummy statement, the woman couldn't hold back any longer. She questioned him, saying, "You and she were childhood sweethearts? Why have I never heard of this?" The husband explained that it was just a lie made up by his mother to get her to accept the situation. Then, to make the woman believe in his love, he swore that if he ever consummated with the sister-in-law, may he be struck by lightning. Hearing this, the woman reluctantly chose to believe him. But just as she was about to say she'd leave him if he did sleep with another, the maid suddenly came with news that the sister-in-law had jumped into the river. At once, the man ignored his wife and ran off in panic, and the little dolls in her hand were knocked to the ground and shattered. When the woman arrived, she saw her husband jumping into the water to save her. It instantly reminded her of the time she had fallen into water, and her husband, unable to swim, had only handed her a rope. After rescuing the sister-in-law, the man saw his heartbroken wife standing nearby. He was about to say something. The sister-in-law softly said he shouldn't have saved her. Now that she had no one, she might as well be dead. Seeing her so weak, the man was overcome with protectiveness. Right in front of his wife, he swore to protect the sister-in-law. Then he carelessly said a few words to his wife and walked away with the sister-in-law in his arms. Seeing this, the woman was completely disappointed in her husband. Back then, when she fell into the water, her husband didn't try to save her, but now that the sister-in-law fell in, he risked his life to rescue her. Yet she had once gone to such lengths to save him too. It turned out that before they were even married, the man had been severely injured on the battlefield and lay unconscious. The woman had married him despite everything, hoping the marriage would bring him luck and recovery. Later, she even knelt on 3,000 stone steps to beg for a sacred remedy. After he recovered, he swore she would be the only one in his life. Even the mother-in-law had said the woman was the benefactor of the Duke's household and promised never to let her suffer grievances again. But now everything had changed. Looking at the plaque personally bestowed by the Empress to help her secure her position in the household, the one that read, "Virtuous and worthy first wife," it had now become the very shackle that bound her in the Duke's manor. Without hesitation, the woman shattered it with one swing of her spear. But what the woman never expected was that the son she had risked her life to give birth to also sided with the sister-in-law. He came forward and scolded her for not letting Auntie give him a little brother and for driving Auntie to jump into the lake. If Auntie died, he wouldn't acknowledge her as his mother anymore. But after seeing the hurt expression on her face, the son quickly said insincerely that he didn't mean it. But Auntie is really kind. He added she didn't say a single bad word about Mother, and even gave Mother a gift. Then the son opened the box. Looking at the handkerchief inside the box, the woman took it out with a puzzled expression. But when she saw the words embroidered on it clearly, she instantly realized that her husband and the sister-in-law had become husband and wife the previous night. Just as she was overwhelmed by grief, the man walked up to her as if nothing had happened, and upon seeing the expression on her face, he had the audacity to ask the son, "Did you bully your mother?" Hearing this, the woman didn't hold back, and directly said that their son had accused her. "Why won't I let the sister-in-law give him a little brother?" The man's face instantly darkened at these words. He sternly ordered the son to apologize and kneel in the ancestral hall. The son immediately looked to the woman for help, but by now, she was completely heartbroken. She no longer wished to say anything to him. In the end, the boy could only leave quietly, but what the woman didn't expect was that after the boy left, the man still had the nerve to swear he'd never sleep with the sister-in-law. Clutching the handkerchief in her hand, the woman finally lost all hope in her husband. But unexpectedly, that very night, while the woman was asleep, the husband secretly got up, planning to sleep with the sister-in-law. When their son found out, he not only didn't stop him, but happily offered to keep watch for his father. Watching the backs of father and son as they left, the woman realized it was finally time to leave.